Development Subcommittee. Before we start, I would like to ask everyone to note that this meeting is being live streamed on the Council's YouTube channel. The recording of the meeting will remain online for 4 years, and if you are present in the chamber, you are consenting to appear in the recording and broadcast, which may also be used for training purposes. I'll just allow people a moment to leave if they wish. The purpose of this evening is for members to consider an application to review an existing premises licence in respect of WAG 3838 Bristol Road, Gloucester. The procedures of the meeting will go as follows. I will start by asking the licensing officer to present his report, further detailing the reasons why a licensing subcommittee has been called. Thereafter, members, Trading Standards and the Licence Holders Council will be asked if they require any clarification specifically on the content of the report. After the licensing officer has presented his report, Trading Standards will be invited to make their statement. Once they have concluded their statement, members will have an opportunity to ask them questions. After members have asked their questions to Trading Standards, counsel representing the licence holder will be asked to provide their statement. Afterwards, members will be able to ask questions of counsel representing the licence holder. After this, the licensing officer will sum up the options for the licensing subcommittee. After this, Trading Standards and the counsel representing the licence holder shall also be asked if they wish to provide a final statement. After all evidence has been considered, members and the council solicitor shall retire briefly so that members can make a decision. At this point, the live stream will be paused. When they return, the stream will be unpaused and the council solicitor will read the decision of the Licensing and Enforcement Subcommittee to all those present, and that will conclude the meeting. So it's important that we go through the process so that everybody can be aware, so you can ask questions if you need to, and you understand what's happening and what stages we're going through. So in terms of the process, is everyone okay with that? Lovely, okay. I would now like to ask everyone to individually introduce themselves for members, to make any declarations of interest if they have them, and then we shall proceed with the meeting. So if I may, I would like to declare a personal interest. I have a family member who works for Gloucestershire Trading Standards, although I don't believe that they have any interaction with this case. So any preference in how we introduce ourselves?
So start with me and go round.
Start with me and go round then. So my name's Anne, Councillor Radley, and I'm one of the Elmbridge councillors.
My name's Valerie Sims, Councillor Valerie Sims for Labour.
I'm Councillor Knowledge for Elmbridge Ward.
Hi, my name's Sarah Watson for Gloucester Trading Standards.
My name's Stephen Hodges. I'm an accredited financial investigator with Gloucestershire Trading Standards Service.
My name is Awal Khan. I'm the manager of Work 3.
My name is Mr. Mula and I'm his friend on the street, so I'm just here to represent him.
Chris Butler, Licensing Enforcement Officer.
Oliver Brown, Democratic and Electoral Services Officer.
Vicky Fennell, Legal Advisor to the committee this evening.
Lovely. And so could I ask the licensing officer to present their report?
Just before I do go into the purposes of the report and the recommendations, just a reminder that there was a typographical error on the original report at paragraph 4.5, which has been corrected, and all parties were notified earlier in the week to that effect. So, purpose of the report is for members to consider an application to review an existing premises licence in respect of WAG 3, 38 Bristol Road, Gloucester. Recommendations are that the licensing subcommittee considers and determines the review application and takes such steps as it considers appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objectives. As a background to this, WAG3 currently benefits from a premises licence issued under the Licensing Act 2003, and a copy of the current licence can be seen attached to the report to the agenda pack as Appendix 1. The licence outlines the current licensable activities along with the current conditions. Section 51 of the Licensing Act 2003 states that where a premises licence has effect, other persons or a responsible authority may apply to the relevant licensing authority for a review of that licence. In respect of an application from a responsible authority, the licensing authority may only reject the application on the grounds that they are not relevant to one or more of the licensing objectives. On the 18th of December 2024, the licensing authority received an application from Gloucestershire County Council Trading Standards to review an existing licence in relation to WAG3. A copy of the review application plus supporting documentation is attached at Appendix 2. It can be confirmed that the review application has been served on all responsible authorities. In addition, the application was advertised on Gloucester City Council's website, and a public notice of the review was displayed at the premises for a period of 28 consecutive days. The review application states that the following licensing objectives have been undermined. That's the prevention of crime and disorder and the protection of children from harm. The review application has been completed by Sarah Watson, a Trading Standards and Financial Intelligence Officer on behalf of Gloucestershire County Council Trading Standards Service, and details a number of issues which have led to the application to review being submitted. The issues identified which impact on the prevention of crime and disorder are underage sales of age-restricted products and supply of illegal vapes and failing to provide CCTV. This is also considered, the other licensing objective being the protection of children from harm. Full details of the issues identified and actions taken are detailed in the review application. Asif Jabakil is the premises licence holder and the designated premises supervisor, and details of this review have been delivered to him at 38 Bristol Road, Gloucester. The premises licence was previously reviewed on the 29th of July 2021 following an application by Gloucester Trading Standards concerning the sale of illegal tobacco. On that occasion, the licensing subcommittee resolved to issue a written warning and suspend the licence for a period of 21 days. A copy of the decision letter is attached at Appendix 3. None of the other responsible authorities responded to the review application. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you very much. And so now, just in relation to the contents of the officer's report, are there any questions or queries you'd like to ask at this point, just in relation to the officer's report?
No.
Thank you. And again, Trading Standards, any questions or queries just in relation to the officer's report?
No, thank you.
Lovely, thank you very much. Okay, so I now invite Trading Standards to make their statement.
Good evening. So my name's Sarah Watson. I'm a Trading Standards Officer with the service. I have some copies of the bundle if you require any further copies. I wasn't sure if you have any sort of to share, or but if you'd like some, I've got some to hand up if it assists. Would you like any? Or
If we proceed to questions and then we can maybe have a look at those in a moment, would that be appropriate? Yeah, thank you.
of course, I'll go through the report. The store is known as WAG3. It's located at 38 Bristol Road and is in the Moorland district of Gloucester. It is situated between an Indian restaurant, takeaway and a cafe. The store has a good footfall of customers and is situated near a popular residential area. Following a suspension of the licence in July 2021, complaints about the store once again began to materialise in the summer of 2023. A fellow officer, Robert Cardew, initially interacted with WAG3 and I began dealing with them in 2024. Gloucester County Council Trading Standards Service are the responsible authority making the application for the licence review regarding this store. The reasons for this application are contained within the report. One of the functions of Trading Standards is to enforce criminal legislation regarding the sale of nicotine inhaling products known as e-cigarettes or vapes and the sale of these age-restricted products to minors. The Nicotine Inhaling Products Age of Sale and Proxy Purchasing Regulations 2015 makes it an offence for any person to sell nicotine inhaling products to anyone under the age of 18. This attracts a fine on summary conviction of up to £2,500 for each offence committed. The Tobacco and Related Product Regulations 2016 states the makeup of the disposable vapes and what they must contain. This involves use and storage information, warnings such as not recommended for young persons, and the addictiveness and toxicity. The tank size must contain a maximum of 2 ml of liquid, which equates to about 600 to 700 puffs. And there must be a health warning on the front and the back of the packaging of the vape, covering 30% of the area, stating this product contains nicotine, which is a highly addictive substance. Failure to comply with this requirement on summary conviction is an unlimited fine and up to 3 months imprisonment. The application provides details of the breaches of these regulations by WAG3 and Mr Jabarkul as the premises licence holder. Disposable vapes are the product of choice for young people of today and are produced in large numbers with multiple flavours and variations. Sweet flavours, social influences and access to vapes makes them appealing to children. The government are currently introducing a tobacco and vapes bill, and the government figures from this suggest a steep rise in children vaping, and 1 in 4 11 to 15-year-olds have tried it in 2023. The NHS has stated that vapes should not be accessible to children due to their developing lungs, and their brains are more sensitive to the effects of nicotine, hence the age restriction is in place. The 2 ml tank restriction was implemented to protect consumers from excessive nicotine intake, and the packaging information is for consumers to be aware of what they contain and what the risks are using them. Both underage sales and illegal vapes are high priorities for Gloucestershire Trading Standards. We work with and advise businesses to educate them in the law and only look at a licence review and potential prosecution should the business, despite our advice and warnings, continue to offend. The sale of illegal vapes in the county damages trade for reputable stores, and stores are selling to school-aged children with no age checks. Word spreads quickly, and minors intent to purchase vapes will go to these stores. I will now go through the report. On the 29th of July 2021, WAG3 was subject to the licence review regarding the sale of illegal tobacco from the premises. Mr Azif Jabarkul was represented by a solicitor at this hearing, and as a result, the store's licence was suspended for 21 days. In July 2023, the service received reports from both police and members of the public that illegal vapes were being sold at the store and that vapes were being regularly sold to children. Following these reports, on the 19th of July 2023, an officer from Trading Standards visited the store as a customer purchased a Vap Solo King 10,000 puff vape, which was illegal due to the excessive tank size. On the 25th of July 2023, Trading Standards visited the store to conduct an inspection and to discuss issues surrounding the sales of vapes. Mr Azif Jabarkul was present in the store. The inspection identified 476 non-compliant vapes which were seized due to excessive sized tanks. This is identified by the number of puffs stated on the packaging. Mr Jabarkul said that he had obtained the stock the previous evening and was delivered to him in a van. When asked to access the CCTV to check the registration of the van, Mr Jabarkul refused to do this. He then stated the van did not park in the vicinity of the CCTV range in any event. During the inspection, another individual arrived at the store who said they came from a shop in Southgate Street, Gloucester. The officer raised concerns about age-related sales and reports received, and full advice was given concerning Challenge 25, the refusals book and illegal vapes. A letter was sent the same day detailing the visit and confirming the advice given, and this letter is produced in the bundle as SJW1. On the 23rd of August 2023, a 15-year-old test purchaser visited the store under our instruction to attempt to purchase a disposable vape. The sale was refused and identification was correctly requested. During the visit, however, it was identified by an officer that there were further illegal vapes for sale in the store. Following from these complaints, On the 25th of September 2023, a trading standards officer visited the store and spoke with Mr. Azif Jabarkal, and following an inspection, a further 221 vapes were seized. Due to this being the second occasion the service had visited the store and had been fully advised, Mr. Jabarkal was advised by the officer that he would seek a licence review if any further illegal vapes were found. The officer issued a written warning stating, "You must not sell electric cigarettes that breach the tobacco and related products regulations. Typical examples are vapes that have tanks larger than 2 mil or approximately 600 puffs. For example, R&M Tornado 7000 or 9000, Fire Rose EX4 500 and ENE Elux Legend 3500, which are ones that were available and seized on that day, and purchased from reliable sources." This notice was signed by Azif Jabarkal, and SJW-2 on the pack is a copy of this notice. The visit was followed up by a letter reiterating the advice provided, and a copy of this letter is marked in the package SJW3. On the 25th of October 2023, Mr. Jabarkal sought from advice and trading standards concerning 0% nicotine vapes. An officer from the service discussed this with Azif Jabarkal and sent the following text. "Hi Azif, if the vapes are genuinely 0% nicotine, then the 2 mil or 600 puff limit does not apply. Make sure that the box has the name and the address of a UK importer printed on it. If it doesn't, that could be a problem." From Robert Trading Standards. On the 13th of December 2023, the service received a complaint from a concerned parent which read, "Tonight I've had to pick my 14-year-old up at 7 p.m. from a local park after drinking half a bottle of vodka. She had been served vodka in one of our local stores. She has also told me it is where she has been buying her vapes from. The shop is called Wag 3 on Bristol Road, Gloucester. I have also been told that's where all the kids go. How do I take this further to stop the shop selling to underage children? My daughter has come home not able to walk and sick 4 times. This needs to be stopped." On the 14th of February 2024, a concerned parent reported to the service that their 12-year-old son and his friend had purchased vapes from the store. The report read, "I would like to report that my 12-year-old son and his 12-year-old friend were both able to purchase a £10 vape from Wag 3 Mini Market on Saturday the 27th of January, when they are clearly not old enough to be smoking and do not look anywhere near the legal age to purchase one. I have been informed by my son that this is the place to go for underage children at a local school to purchase vapes, as they are never age challenged by shop staff." On the 18th of March 2024, a report was received by the safeguarding team at Gloucester County Council stating that they had received information that the store was selling vapes to underage children. On the 8th of April 2024, a parent of a 13-year-old child reported to the service that the store was regularly selling vapes to their child. A further report was received on the 26th of April from a concerned parent of a 15-year-old daughter who had purchased vapes from the store, and on visiting, they reported the person serving behind the counter was no older than 14. On the 15th of May 2024, following on from these complaints received, I attended Wag 3 to discuss underage sales. The person behind the counter provided his name. He said that he had only been working there a few weeks and the owner was Mr. Khan. On request, Mr. Khan attended the store and identified himself as the owner and person in charge. The complaints were raised with Mr. Khan and an inspection was initiated due to identifying further illegal vapes. Mr. Khan said they have a lot of children coming into the store after school finishes to try and buy vapes. He said they first seek their age and then ID, and if they don't have it, they do not sell. I explained the reasons why children should not be allowed to purchase vapes and discussed their procedures and what they do when a minor attempts to purchase an age-restricted product. I advised that they should not be seeking age, but must ensure ID is produced, otherwise they should not sell. I ensured age restriction signs were up and visible and requested to see the training records and refusals register. The store could not provide us with any evidence of training and the refusals register had not been updated since September 2023. Mr. Khan confirmed they purchased from other local stores in Southgate Street, Gloucester, who deliver large vapes during the evening, as well as from outside the county. A vape pack, which included no proof of age, no sale information, was provided, and I strongly advise them to sign up for free, as Gloucester Trading Standards are covering the costs. On inspection, 74 further illegal vapes were seized from the store despite previous warnings, and included R&M Tornado 9000, ENE Legend 3500 and Fire Rose EX 4500, which were the subject of the warning from the officer in September 2023. A detailed letter summarising the visit and all the advice provided was sent out the following day, which is produced in the bundle as SJW/4. As a result of the information, previous advice given and complaints received by the Trading Standards Service, WAG3 was identified as a store of concern who are selling disposable vapes to minors, and was therefore listed for a visit under an intelligence-led 3-day test purchase operation across Gloucestershire. A test purchase was conducted on the 29th of May 2024. This involved a test purchaser aged 16 who, on behalf of the Trading Standards Service, entered WAG3 and asked the male behind the counter for a disposable vape. The volunteer selected one of the 2 vapes offered, paid £10 for the vape and left the store. On examination, this vape was a J&R Crystal Pro Max 5000 per vape marked 0% nicotine, but still contained the warnings not to sell to under 18s. If you see SJW5 on the pack, this is an image of the vape, and I have the vape here for examination if you'd like to see. As the vape was identified as 0% nicotine, on the 30th of May 2024, the following day, the test purchase was repeated by a different test purchaser. The volunteer, who was aged 15, was able to purchase a Psych vape which contained 2% nicotine with no challenges as to age or identification. SJW6 in the pack is an image of this vape, and again, the vape is here for inspection if you'd like. On the 5th of June 2024, a letter was sent to WAG3 advising them that a sale of nicotine containing vape had occurred on the 30th of May 2024. This letter confirmed we would be visiting and once again provided no proof of age, no sale information. And SJW7 is a copy of that letter. On the 9th of July 2024, following the test purchases, a visit was made to the store by Trading Standards officers. The person serving would only provide his first name and, on request, called Awal Khan, who arrived shortly after. Questions were asked about why the sales had occurred, and we were told that they were trained but didn't listen. I asked to see the training records but told there were none. We were then showed a letter from the police confirming a recent pass on a police alcohol test purchase, and on check on the refusals log, there were 3 entries from June to date, but this entry was not on the log. They were again advised to conduct and reference training, keep the refusals register, use Challenge 25 and not to sell to anyone under this age unless they have identification. Mr. Khan was told that any further contraventions could lead to potential action being taken. On the 22nd of July 24, the service received a further report of illegal vapes being sold to children. The member of the public also reported that the trader was removing the packaging before handing over the vape to make it less obvious. By doing this, the user has no information on the use and the risk associated with a nicotine-containing vape, breaching the Tobacco and Related Product Regulations 2016. On the 11th of September 2024, I attended the store with another officer on an unrelated matter concerning food safety alert for counterfeit vodka, where an inspection was required. There was a different person serving who said he had not worked there long. The vodka subject to the alert was inspected and there were no issues. However, pricing issues were identified and I had concerns over the 0% nicotine vapes on sale. On closer inspection of the 10,000 puff 0% nicotine vapes behind the counter, it was noted that these had been labelled over, and on peeling back the label, these vapes it clearly showed they contained 2% nicotine and were therefore illegal due to their size. I asked the shop worker to call the owner, and Azif Japarkul attended and confirmed he was the owner. A total of 70 vapes were seized, which included a mixed bag of used non-compliant vapes under the counter. We arranged to send off one of these vapes for testing, and on receipt of the test report, it confirmed that they contain 15.2 micrograms per ml of nicotine. The liquid extracted confirmed that the tank held a minimum of 8.4 ml, where the maximum permitted amount identified in the tobacco-related product regulations is 2 ml. Concerns were raised on the seriousness of this, as they may be supplied to minors or people who either do not smoke or are trying to stop. SJW 8 of the bundle contains photographs of the vapes, and SJW 9 is a copy of the test report showing the presence of nicotine in the vape. On the 29th of October 2024, the service conducted a second underage sales exercise and visited a number of identified stores in Gloucestershire who had failed previously. WAG3 was one of these stores. On this occasion, 16-year-old volunteers entered the store and was able to purchase a psych vape containing 2% nicotine with no age identification or checks. During the sale, the seller removed the outer packaging from the vape and handed it to the minor with just the plastic packaging, which had no labelling or usage instructions, breaching various regulations. This corroborates previous intelligence in July 2024 when it was alleged that packaging was being removed. SJW 10 of the pack is a photograph of the vape purchased, and we have the vape here just for if you wish to examine it. On the 5th of November, a letter was sent to Mr. Jabarkle at WAG3 advising of the failed test purchase and inviting him in for interview. However, it was decided that we needed to review the CCTV evidence, so a revisit was made on the 7th of November 2024. On the 7th of November 2024, officers visited the store to request inspection of the CCTV around the time of the test purchase. This request was in line with licence requirements stating the store must retain CCTV for not less than 31 days, have a competent person who is able to fully operate the CCTV in store whilst open for business, and to download this on request to any appropriate authority. The male behind the counter was another different individual. He provided his name and date of birth, and it was established that he was only 17 years old and was in sole control of the store on our arrival. On asking for the owner, Azif Jabarkle, to attend, a call was made and Mr. Awar Khan attended the store. A request for the CCTV to be downloaded and a copy provided to us was made in line with the conditions of the licence. Both individuals stated that they could not work the CCTV and download anything for us, and therefore we proceeded to seize the CCTV box for examination, advising we would return it as soon as we could download the required footage. The box was located, and during this, Awar Khan located another box in a different part of the ceiling, which officers identified was not the one that was plugged in. The CCTV box was placed on the counter whilst a seizure notice was written. Awar Khan stated he wanted to put the box in a bag and not in our clear seizure bag. He then picked up the box, slipping it under the counter briefly, and then placing the CCTV box into 2 blue bags. This box was then handed to me and placed in a seizure bag and sealed up. It was requested that Azif Jabarkle provided us with a passcode to expedite the process. SJW 11 is a photograph of the box during the seizure of the store. On the 14th of November 2024, the service, under video recording conditions, broke the seal and opened the packaging for the CCTV box. The box was set up and the password that Mr. Jabarkle had provided earlier in the week was checked, but discovered after multiple tries did not work. During the examination, it was noted by officers that this was not the box we seized. The seized box was a Hilux CCTV box, as noted on the seizure notice and in the picture, and the box in front of officers was a Florian CCTV box. It was therefore established that the box was intentionally switched by Awar Khan when he placed the CCTV box in the bag to obstruct officers carrying out their duties. SJW 12 is a photograph of the box that was swapped and provided to us. Following discovery of this obstruction, officers visited WAG3 later the same day. The male behind the counter was another different individual who would not provide any identification information and refused to sign any notice. The assistant was then asked to call the owner to attend. During this time, it was noted that there was out-of-date food in the fridge area and the majority of items for sale in the store had no indication of price, despite being advised on the 11th of September 24. Following a call from the store assistant, Azif Jabarkal attended around 10 minutes later, and we requested the Hilux CCTV box, which was switched by the store. Azif Jabarkal stated that the box didn't work, so he smashed up the box and threw it away as it was not working and there was no CCTV to provide. There was no CCTV operating in the store during our visit. He also said that it only recorded for 7 days in any event, so we would not be able to see the test purchase. This would again breach their licence conditions. A WM14 notice was provided requesting production of the CCTV amongst other matters. This notice is in the bundle at SJW/13. On the 18th of November 2024, Azif Jabarkal called requesting advice about 0% nicotine vapes. He was looking to buy following a visit from a man in a van at the store the previous evening. He said he has told staff not to sell to those underage, or they would have to pay the fine. He was advised that he was responsible for his staff and he should be undertaking training to prevent this happening. He was advised that these vapes inquired about were not suitable and that he should not purchase from this type of traders as per his licence conditions. See SJW14 for a copy of this email. In summary, the store has failed a total of 3 test purchases, of which 2 were nicotine-containing disposable vapes. One of these cells of packaging had been removed and the vape was handed to the minor without any question and without packaging or instructions. As you have heard, the store has been advised on multiple occasions during 2023 and 2024 on underage sales and processes in place to help the store be vigilant to this. They have also been regularly advised on refusals logs, which whilst now in store are not updated regularly, and there are no training records to show the store's due diligence. Following the test purchase on 29th of October 2024, Trading Standards attempted to obtain a download and then the CCTV system, but the officers were deliberately obstructed, which is a criminal offence. We believe this was because Awal Khan knew that it contained evidence of the sale of vapes to minors. Further attempts also failed as Azif Jabarkal destroyed the CCTV box, therefore destroying the evidence. By doing this, they failed to comply with the licence requirements. The refusals log is not regularly maintained and no evidence has been provided that any training has been conducted to the workers, who during my visits have been multiple. There has been various complaints of sales of vapes and alcohol to minors, as well as our failed test purchases, and there appears to be no Challenge 25 policy being enforced. I've spoken with the organiser of the No Proof of Age, No Sale scheme, who has confirmed that there has been no inquiries from the store about joining the scheme, despite the service paying for the membership fee and offering this to the store on numerous occasions. Gloucestershire Trading Standards submits that WAG3 is failing to comply with the licence objective of prevention of crime and disorder and the protection of children from harm due to the sale of illegal vapes, sale of vapes to minors, and removing packaging before supply. They have breached their licence conditions by failure to provide the CCTV, failure to record for a minimum of 31 days, failure to provide any invoices for the illegal vapes purchased, and to enforce Challenge 25 with regular sales to minors. Following the dealings with the store during this period, I have little faith that the licence holder could comply with any further licence conditions should he or her council propose them. I would therefore submit that the licence be revoked. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you very much for your statement. And so now I ask members of the panel to ask any questions of the Trading Standards team that they may have at this point.
No, I haven't got anything at the moment.
So again, I just want to check a few things that I've heard it right, and I've got it right in my head. So when you visited the premises, you couldn't find any training records reflecting the training that the team would have undertaken?
No, during every visit I asked about training records and none were ever provided, and I was advised there were no records.
Thank you. And again, when you visited, you saw that packaging was being amended, that there were things that were being changed. Did I hear that right?
No package being amended. There was in relation to the vapes, the 0% nicotine vapes. Yeah, what it was is the vapes on the counter, behind the counter. When you sort of, we have a test. Obviously, we look for we have a specific test we look through to find non-compliant vapes, and there was a sticky label on them, and you could peel the sticky label back, and it was containing 0%. It was containing 2% nicotine. So you pulled the 0% nicotine label off, and it confirmed it was 2%, and that was right across all the vapes we seized that day.
Lovely, thank you. Yep, that's all the questions from me to trading standards. Any other questions that members would like to ask? Okay, so now I need to move on to the licence holder. So are there any questions that the representatives of WAG3 would like to ask? I would like to ask the representatives of WAG3 to provide their statement.
I'm just new to this one, do apologize. The statement was right, but there was some misinformation there, and we had the evidence of the training record. I showed her when she came to the shop as well, that time as well. She didn't mention that. And also I said to her that I have the paperwork, but it's not presented in the shop. I keep that at home, which Asif did it. So I did say that one as well to her there. We had the training book, and every employee has been trained fully while they're working there. And we have basically in English writing as well, and plus our own language, which is Pashto. We had a voice message, like a WhatsApp group, which is called like work team. I sent them a specific message as well, like if anybody make a mistake, you've been trained, you have to check ID, anything under 18 or under 25, you have to challenge them as well. If you do not understand it, you have to ask me or Asif to confirm that the person is under 18 or not. So we trained all the employees properly. We have the evidence for that. Oh, sorry, last thing, I do apologize. The last thing that she said that we didn't provide the where we bang the vape from. The vape is we did say that where we get we give her the address as well, where which shop we're buying from it, and the box that all it has a 0 nicotine on the top of the box, but inside we don't know it was 2% or 3%, but the box outside it said 2% 0 nicotine. So that's why we go for it. After each offense, they said this is not right one. Then we changed it. We asked for advice as well. So every time there was a mistake, after that mistake, we changed that one. We never repeat that again. That's all.
Lovely, thank you. Yeah. So now I invite members to ask questions of the licensee.
Yeah. You've said that you had evidence that the nicotine from the boxes, it had a different information confirmed on the front of the box compared to what was inside. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, have you continued purchasing from the same company or the organisation?
No. No.
You said training. How long do you... Oh, right, sorry.
Thank you.
You've indicated that you train all of your staff.
Yes.
For how... Sorry, I hadn't finished. It's fine. How long do you give training?
We give them training about weeks and a half or up to 2 weeks.
And then how do you evidence that they've actually learnt and digested that information?
They have to tell us everything. And make sure they understand. After they understand it, they take responsibility of the service.
Trading Standards said that there was no indication of any records. From that information that was given, have you brought in evidence of those records that you said that you've shown the Trading Standards?
Yes, I do. And also, she did a video of the record as well, a WhatsApp group that I sent it to the worker. She did the video on her camera when she came to the office, the shop. She recorded that whole message as well, and who are in the group. So she had that one as well, and I have it with me as well.
Thank you. So, if I may, if you've kindly told us this evening that you train your team, you keep records of that training, and you feel that that training is fulsome and gives them what they need to be able to make sales appropriately. I'm confused that representatives of Trading Standards were saying that when they visited, they didn't have those records. Have you shared those records with the Trading Standards team?
I did share the WhatsApp group message as well, and I said to her that the paperwork is not here. Asif has it in his home address, so the actual paper was not in the shop, and the refusal book was in the shop. Some was missed up as well. So the voice message and the group, she has that evidence. We give them that over in the shop.
And as you have the records, did you take the records to Trading Standards so that they could view them?
The voice message they do, and the actual paperwork they didn't.
Thank you. Any further questions from members? So, do you have you made reference to some footage. Do you have that with you at the moment?
Yes, I do have that one as well. And I also mentioned, sorry to say early, that I do tell her that if anybody make a mistake, it's going to be the responsibility as well. And then after that, the only responsibility is like we sack them, and then if they make any mistake, and we did that one as well.
I'm just going to ask our legal officer some questions. Are we able to take and view that information that's...
It's up to you, Chair. If you want to see it, then he can show it to you whilst you're in here now.
And so would we view it here or do we view it as part of our deliberation?
You view it here.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
probably
so
by
if,
the Trading Standards to see it.
yeah. So if you've got that, I think the panel would be very keen to view it, and I've also given opportunity for Trading Standards to view it.
The message that she recorded is on WhatsApp, which is in Pashto. I think she said that she's going to translate it. I'm not sure if she did it as well. I have that one as well. If anyone listen to it or can translate it, I'm happy to do that one as well. And the writing note, I have it as well. So whichever you want. If you can translate it, I don't know. She said she's going to translate it, but I'm not sure if she did it. So I have the Pashto message as well.
Okay, so if you bring your phone up, we'll probably need to screenshot this so that we can then try and get it translated. Okay, as it might take us a few moments or longer to get the data, I suggest that we adjourn the record, we pause the recording and then start the recording again once we've got the data. Is that agreeable? Brilliant, thank you. Thank you. So the recording has been restarted. So again, this is being recorded and live streamed. So we took a brief pause, but we weren't really able to get any of the information that we would find useful at the moment. So we need to continue with the session. So I would like to invite any further questions that members may have at this time for anyone present.
Yes, I'm not sure how relevant this is, but you mentioned about training all of your staff. Where is the evidence of the signed information on the bottom of their training package? Have you got evidence of that you were actually showing? Now this is only through. Right, okay.
Do you mean signed by trading standards rather than?
No, not assigned by trading standards. They've said, they've mentioned that they have training, all your staff, and all the staff should then be signed off on that training. Have you got evidence of that your staff, all of their signatures on that training package?
We have only that paper with us, that we train them as well. And then after that, we sit all together and make sure we give one another.
Okay.
And they send the paper as well, so make sure they understand it. And they have the paper as well with them.
And for trading standards, you've mentioned that on several occasions you've been in the shop and they've had several warnings, but there was a mention of some recording. Have you got evidence of that?
Hi, yes, I did actually speak to and he showed me one voice message which I did record, but I had the same problem. I couldn't translate it, and because it was early doors, I didn't worry too much about it. I was under the impression it was actually a message from the owner just explaining about underage sales, but I had difficulty myself, and I didn't dwell on it too much because I believed it was obviously just relating to that. But in relation to training records, I've not received any or seen any physical training records at all. And trading standards don't sign off any training records. It's done purely on the shop's system. So.
Lovely. Thank you for that. I've got a few questions, gentlemen. Could you tell me a little bit more about what happened with the CCTV and why that wasn't made available when requested?
When they visit the store, basically, I didn't know where the box actually was at the first time. And her colleague came and he knew where the box was. He found there was 2 boxes in the store. He took both of them, and then they put both of them on the counter as well. After they left, they were standing right in front of me like you and us. There was a counter on top. They were looking and everything there. She was trying to put the one in a clear bag. Both was in there. That's all they did it. I don't know how they mixed it up or anything as well. Nobody touched anything. They said this one is working, that one doesn't work. They left one, they took one. Nobody touched anything. Box was over there. He took both of them down, and then they took it as well. So if they said that we mixed it up or we swapped it, so they were standing there. Why did they allow us to swap it? They were looking at us like you looking at me and I'm looking at you. I'm gonna swap the cup with the glass like that. So obviously you can ask for the phone, not for the glass cup. So why did you left? Then you should have left the other one as well. I said that I'm not gonna take that one. I have to take this one as well. So you should have taken that one. So they did anything. We don't know anything. There was another worker with us. I was just doing the wave stuff as well. I was fixing the waves. They were dealing with the boxes, not us. So the boat was standing in the front of the till. The boat were writing and doing their work. One was trying to put in the bag and another person was writing the book. So we never see anything. They were dealing with it. After they left, that's it. And the next day, I think they sent an email to Asif. They asked for the books. Asif went to the shop evening time. He was very upset, angry as well. And the camera didn't work. He said, this is the 4th time they take the books and they never returned it. Now I'm going to pay like £200 again. And then he smashed it or anything happened to it. I don't know anything. But I think he smashed it because he was angry to the worker as well. He stuck 2 workers Shahid and Mustafa on the paper, probably you can see it as well, and Bilal Armani, he took 3 workers from the store because he said every time I get problem because of you guys. So these 3 workers are not working longer in the store. So the books, anything they did it was their mistake. So if you're looking at me and I'm doing something like that, obviously you're gonna say to me what's going on here. So if you ask me for the phone, you have to take the phone, not for the glass. So
Thank you for your answer. Any other questions that members would like to raise or points of clarification that they would like to put forwards? No. So I will now move on and ask the licence officer to sum up.
Thank you. The subcommittee must consider whether or not it is appropriate to take further steps to promote the licensing objectives. If it considers that some form of action is appropriate, it may take such of the following steps as it considers necessary for the promotion of the licensing objectives. A, to take no action. B, to issue an informal warning to the licence holder and or recommend improvement within a particular period of time. C, to modify the conditions of the premises licence, which includes adding new conditions or any alteration or omission of an existing condition. D, to exclude a licensable activity from the scope of the licence. E, to remove the designated premises supervisor. F, to suspend the licence for a period not exceeding 3 months. Or finally, to revoke the licence. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now move on to final statements. So we'll ask Trading Standards and yourselves for a final statement. So first off, I'll ask Trading Standards if they would like to make their final statement.
I didn't actually prepare a final statement because I prepared it and said it all in the initial one. I think the summary, I summed everything up at the end, contained all my final statements. Just one point to mention, we're currently reviewing the file on whether to take any proceedings on the final underage sale event on the 29th of October, but no decision's been made, so just to make you aware.
Lovely, thank you. And so if I could ask the licensees to make your final statement, if there is anything that you would like to say.
I think the mistake the worker made it, and we have did whatever legally required. We did it, everything, and we trained him as everything. So I think there is everybody can make a mistake. Asif Jabbar Hill now, he's with his family. I think we informed her as well. He was very upset about what the employee did it as well, and that's why he sacked him. So he made a mistake, and I'm passing his message. He said that from the previous mistake that he did it in tobacco, he learned from that one. After that mistake, he never did it. And with the vapes, whenever he found out the vape not supposed to be sold and was not legal, he stopped that one. He never repeated buying the same thing. And even this time as well to the underage, because when the police, I think I have give her the evidence. When the police came to do the test, I was in the store, and then the guys who were trying to buy alcohol, I refused them. And after 1 week, we received the letter and the time and everything. So basically, when we did it, me or Asif, when we were there was nothing happened. When the employee worked there, they made a mistake. If they made a mistake, they did it purposely or unpurposely. God knows that. But that's why he said they made a mistake, and then that will never happen again. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you very much. Okay. Right, we will now be pausing the stream whilst members adjourn to make their decision, and when we return, I believe the legal officer will then read the decision of this subcommittee. So if we could pause the stream. Okay, thank you. So just for information, we've resumed recording the meeting, and again, that will be saved for, I think it was about 4 years. So I will now ask our legal officer to read the decision of the subcommittee.
Thank you, Chair. This evening, the meeting comprised of Councillors Radley, Norwich and Sims, and the panel is heard from the licensing officer, representatives of trading standards and the premises licence holder. The licence subcommittee had due regard to the promotion of the 4 licensing objectives, the national guidance, the council's own licensing policy statement and all relevant submissions. The decision of the licence subcommittee is to revoke the licence. The licence subcommittee looked at each of the options before them and can say that they have considered each one in turn. To take no action was not an option, given that this has been a serious and ongoing issue at the premises. There's a pattern of behaviour. It's not the first time that the premises licence holder has been before the committee, and in 2021 they were here and received a suspension, so have not learned their lesson. To issue an informal warning to the licence holder, again, this is not suitable action, given that this has been done by trading standards on numerous occasions and has not been effective. To modify the conditions of the premises licence, there are no conditions that could be added to the licence. Given the evidence brought to the committee today, the committee has no faith that any added conditions would be abided by. To exclude a licensable activity from the scope of the licence, again, this would not solve the issues before the committee today. To remove the designated premises supervisor, the fact that the designated premises supervisor has not taken this review seriously enough to attend the committee has no faith that by removing the DPS and bringing in a new one will solve the issues at the premises. And to suspend the licence for a period. They already had a 21-day suspension in 2021 for the sale of illegal tobacco products, and by the summer of 2023, numerous complaints of illegal vape selling was received. Therefore, this left only the option to revoke the licence. The decision behind this was that safeguarding is a huge issue here. There is a pattern of not promoting the licence and objectives of the prevention of crime and disorder and the protection of children from harm. There was a 21-day suspension in 2021 for the sale of illegal tobacco. There have been failed test purchases and underage sales of illegal vapes. There's no confidence in the licence holders at all. They've not listened to any of the advice offered by trading standards on numerous occasions. They've been buying vapes in bulk, even when they knew there were issues with them. There was a breach of the licence conditions by the way that there was no CCTV available. There was no one in the premises who knew how to use the CCTV. They left a 17-year-old in charge of a shop with an alcohol licence. They've not been operating a Challenge 25. They've not been keeping an up-to-date refusal register. There is no evidence of initial and regular 6-monthly training as per the conditions. They were offered training to be paid for by trading standards called No Proof of Age, No Sale, and this was turned down. The subcommittee has no faith that the licence holder will change their ways. Nothing has been said tonight to give this committee any faith that these matters would change or that they even take these matters seriously. There was no plan of a way forward or the offering of any suggestions on how they intend to improve. The licence conditions have been seriously undermined, and the only way to promote them in this instance is to revoke the licence. There is a right of appeal to the local magistrates court within 21 days of this decision, and you will receive that in writing. Thank you.
So I'd like to thank everyone for their attendance this evening, and this meeting is now closed. Thank you.